Tackle Junkies, what's going on, everyone? Really appreciate you guys and gals for clicking on the video. Out here with Big Mike, he's behind the camera there, taking a little nap. Had a pretty decent fishing day today. I was using some different gear, so we're going to do another one of those kind of like not a review, I guess you could call it like first impressions on the water type video, whatever you want to call it. But again, I'm using some new equipment, so I wanted to talk about it because I got a better idea of what it'll handle now and kind of what I like about it. So we're even gonna have Mike on the camera there at the end. He can talk about his combos and what he was using and the fish he caught as well. Let's kick it off with the star of the show. This is the Abu Garcia, the Ike and combo here, okay? If you guys see my last video, if you haven't, I'll link it down below. But when I originally ordered this rod, I was thinking spinnerbait. Okay, it's a short rod, it's a 6'6", it's a medium heavy. I'm sure it's a moderate or like a regular action, super soft rod. But it's actually a crankbait rod. But I did say I was gonna try it for spinnerbaits. But I tell you what, after using it for shallow cranking today, I really have no intentions of even trying it for spinnerbaits because I like it so much for shallow cranking tight to cover. Okay, I'm not as a big a fan of it when I'm trying to get, you know, some distance with like an over, you know, the head cast. Being a shorter rod, it does throw the timing off a little bit. Again, I got used to it, you know, not too long after I started using it. But again, that shorter rod, it's definitely a bit different on the release. So you need to release really a bit earlier with that shorter rod. At least that's what worked for me, releasing a little bit earlier, and I got more distance on it. But this short of a rod for me is ideal, tight to banks, little sidearm roll cast. I mean, it's very accurate being 6'6", and it's super soft, a lot of fun. It's going to be my go-to tight to cover, shallow cranking square bill rod. I mean, I absolutely love it. Didn't catch anything huge on it today. Caught a handful, I don't know, 5 or 6 bass. Mike, did I catch a catfish on this too? I think that was the first one I caught, was a catfish. And I'm sure I'm letting these roll as I'm talking here, but that catfish actually hit the crankbait. Bomber, square A. Pick them up over there at Lurenet. Code TJ81 saves you guys 15% off over there at Lurenet. But he dang near hit that crankbait like it was a topwater. I mean, as I was pulling it out of the water, that catfish, I never seen a catfish, you know, like track a lure like that, but he hit it on top, and this rod was plenty soft to keep that fish pinned till we got him in the boat. So we go ahead and show you guys, maybe I can show you here, but it is super soft. Yeah, whoops, just got a hook on my shorts. Okay, you can see there, I mean, it is super soft. Mike, is that picking that up? I think so. Yeah, super soft rod. Okay, so perfect again for crankbaits. And again, that's what the Delay series is designed for crankbaits. Now, this being a 6'6", I'd imagine he probably had, you know, shallow cranking in mind, square bills, you know, things like that. It'd probably be a good like jerkbait rod, even topwater poppers, things like that. But I'm probably going to stick to this shallow cranking square bills tight to cover. Absolutely love it. Again, it's that length that makes it so nice when you're tight to cover. I do wish the butt section was just a little bit shorter. I don't know the length on it. It ain't bad. I just think it'd be just a bit more comfortable if the butt section was just a hair shorter. That would be pretty cool. But overall, man, loving it. That's 15-pound Seagar and VizX. The reel speed, I'm sure I got a 6 speed. Yeah, it's a 6'4". So 6'4" Ike reel. And I love the Ike reel. Great caster, lots of control. It does have dual braking as well. If I can pop this off here, let's see here. You can see here on the spool, it's got pins there on the spool. I was talking to Mike about that earlier. Mike, man, it's awesome. It's got dual braking. It does? Yeah, he's been using it, didn't even know. But I think it's set. It's set with 2 on, 2 off. So you don't even really need to mess with it. It's good to go out of the box. 2 on, 2 off. So it does have pin braking, and then of course it's got the magnetics as well. And I didn't really have the magnetics really jacked up at all. Yeah, I got it maybe a quarter of the way, and getting great distance, plenty of control, but great combo here. So if you're looking for a cranking combo, if you want like a longer one, you can get these. I think the 6.6, I think they had a 6.8, might even been a 6, might have been a 6.10. I think there's a 7-footer, might have even been a longer one. So he had a nice variety of cranking rods depending on your needs. But I'm definitely a fan of this one right here. So, you know, if you want to do some deeper cranking, or, you know, get off the banks a bit, go with a bit longer rod to get some more distance. But like I said, for how I fish, this rod is perfect for me. And Bomber Square A, got my Mustad triple grips on there. So it's one of my new favorite colors there, Bomber Square A. I don't remember the exact name of that color, but it is a fish catcher. And the rod itself too, like I said in my last video, it's a composite rod, so it's a mixture of glass and graphite. And once you're fishing with it, you don't really notice the weight. And for being glass as well, it's pretty sensitive. I can kind of feel what's going on down there as far as if I'm hitting, you know, a soft bottom, rock, or whatever. So it's I got a lot of good feedback from the rod. So overall, like I said, I'm a fan of it. And guys, this isn't like a review. I mean, you can take it how you want it, but just impressions on the water. I'm definitely a fan of it. We'll go over or do a review at the end of the season or whatever. But I mean, I don't see me having anything negative to say about this combo moving forward. It's exactly what I was looking for square bills. Again, I don't know if I'm going to use it for spinnerbaits just because I like it so much for cranking, but it's a winner for sure. This is the other one that I had. This is a 7-foot medium heavy. I didn't look up the specs again. It could be a fast or extra fast. After having it on the water, I'm gonna say it's an extra fast, and it's, at least for me, for Texas rigs, it's a bit too stiff. So I'm not really a fan of this one for Texas rigs. And I've said this before, this particular rod here, let's see here, it loads to 3/8, maxes out at 1 ounce. And really any rod, and I guess too, keep in mind, I'm just comparing this rod to others that I've used, but any rod that's ever, the minimum has been 3/8 and maxes out at 1 ounce, that rod has always felt like a heavy to me. And this one here is no different. Like, this to me feels like it'd be a good jig rod. I don't believe it really be a great moving bait rod for, like, you know, spinner baits and bladed jigs. I think it's just too stiff. So I don't even like it, like I said, for soft plastics. To me, it's for jigs. It's a bit on the stiff side for my liking. Now, you guys may love it for Texas rigs and for spinner baits or whatever, but just for what I'm used to, this rod is a bit too stiff, like I said, for my liking. But it's going to be a great jig rod. That's what I'm going to use it for. I'm just no longer going to throw probably plastics on it, and I don't plan to throw any moving baits on it. But you can see here, it's I mean, it's, I'm not sure, Mike, am I even in view with that? It's pretty dang stiff for medium heavy. I mean, it might be a fast. It feels like it's got, you know, a lot more power to the rod than what I'm used to for a standard medium heavy fast. Usually the medium heavy fast that I like, they load at 1/4, max out at 3/4. This one being 3/8 to 1 ounce. Again, just for me, keep that in mind, for me, it feels more like a heavy power rod. So usually heavies, I don't throw plastics on. It's strictly like a jig rod for me. So that's kind of my take on this one here. 15-pound Seaguar and VizX 6.4 Ike reel. I was just throwing that's a Strike King cutout worm. Okay, that's one of the new Mustad. That's the Alpha Point, but it's got the grip pin. If you guys can see that there on the back. Let's see here. This worm's about done anyways. But it's the Alpha Point, and it's got that grip pin on there. And it's using a Mustad tungsten. Okay, but that was the other Ike combo that I picked up. So going to go with jigs on this one moving forward. Nice combo, just what I plan to use it for. It's just not what I was looking for, basically. So anyways, that's this one here, and it's the Power Series. So that's that. Okay, let's move on to the Wheeler. All right, these ones, guys, I'm a much bigger fan of these. These are the Select series. Okay, I'm a much bigger fan of these compared to the 2.0. Okay, now nothing against the 2.0. They're solid rods. They're great rods for the money. If you're wanting to get into a Wheeler series, that's a great one to start with. It's an affordable series. But I just don't think there's anything really special about those rods. You know, I would only really recommend those rods, and that goes for a lot of brands. You know, if you're looking for the Wheeler rods, you know, or a Duckett rod, you know, that's a great series to start with. But I don't believe there's anything that really separates those rods from others. And that goes really with, you know, if you're talking about Daiwa and Arc or whatever, you know, a lot of it comes down to, when you're in that price range, a lot of it comes down to, you know, what you like, what you're a fan of. It could even be the way the rod looks or whatever. You know, there's nothing really super special about them. Great rods. And if you're wanting to get into Duckett rods or the Wheeler series, they're great ones to pick up. Now that 2.0 cranking rod, like I said in one of my last videos, super soft rod. Nothing is wrong with that. That rod is made to, you know, land fish. Super soft, exactly what you want in a cranking rod, but it's much softer than what I'm used to. Now this one here, the Select series, definitely more my style. Okay, it's got a bit more backbone and a little less tip compared to the 2.0. okay, so a little more power, not as forgiving as the 2.0, but plenty, you know, for a cranking rod. This is, again, this is my style of a cranking rod. I like a rod with a bit more power and not so much tip. So this, again, is my style here, and I'm a big fan of this one. Very sensitive, and just a good cranking rod. It is a bit more than the 2.0. I believe these are around 250 range, and I'm definitely a fan of it. This one will stay on the deck for sure. That was cranking today. That's Tennessee Shad. That is the Bagley Balls of B1. Okay, we got the Tatula CT, 15-pound Seagar in VizX. But definitely a fan of this one. Very sensitive rod, just comfortable, just a good cranking rod. And if you're looking for, like I said, a rod that's got a bit more power and really, I guess, a little less tip compared to the 2.0, this is that one right here if you're looking for a Duckett. So, super nice. Big fan of it. I love it. Okay. Let's go to, this is the other Duckett, okay. This one here is the, I think it's the all-purpose. This is a 7.1. 7.1, let's see here, medium heavy. And I believe it's a fast action rod. If I didn't say, this cranking rod is, I think it's a 7.3. 7.3 medium cranking rod. And this one here is a 7.1 medium heavy. And again, I believe it's a fast action. It's a good do-all type rod. Now, you heard me talk about the Ike rod. Again, this one here is more my style. Okay, it's not near as stiff, and it's got a little more tip. Great for soft plastics. I'd use it for jigs. I would put spinner baits on here. I'd put buzz baits on here. So this one here, I really do like. It's, again, it's my style. I'd imagine, the specs are not on here, but I'd imagine it probably loads at a quarter or so. But like that Ike one, I think I have, that's a 1/4 ounce weight. 1/4 ounce weight on there, and of course you had the hook in the plastic. You think that would at least add up to 3/8 of an ounce. I was even having Michael watch the rod as I was casting. It was barely loading that tip. This one here, 1/4 ounce weight. That's the cleanup craw, or pilot cleanup craw, little 3/0. That's the Mustad Alpha Point EWG. Okay, and this one here loaded, or this weight here, this combo here, loaded this rod just fine. Plenty of power and got plenty of tip. So, plenty of power, plenty of tip. Texas rigs, jigs, you know, buzz baits, bladed jigs, you know, whatever. But definitely a big fan of it. Very comfortable in hand. Love the cork. I got nothing bad to say about this rod right here. Okay, but you can see the difference, you know, all-purpose rod, and that Ike is supposed to be an all-purpose rod. And like I said, that one feels more like a heavy. Really wasn't a fan of it. This one here feels like a medium heavy that I'm used to, and it makes it way more versatile. It's kind of funny, my big fish of the day came on the cleanup crawl, and I pitched in there. I seen the carp, and the carp was swimming off, and next thing you know, my lure was swimming the other way. I just kind of thought, like, you know, maybe the carp had bumped it or whatever, but I guess there was a bass in there with the carp. Carp swam off, bass swam this way, and we hooked up with a good fish. Mike, this one ain't. Mike, net dude, net dude.
Here.
Oh, Mike. Oh, man, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. As soon as he hit, I didn't think he was on there.
Yeah.
Am I recording? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the carp swam off.
Yeah.
And he had it the same time that the carp had it. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, might be a 4.
Yeah. Want me to get scale? Oh, yeah, that's way bigger than mine.
Oh, it came out.
Oh.
No, he might be a 4.
I'll get your scale.
332.
All right.
A little over 3 1/4, not too bad. The last combo that I was throwing today, this is the Arc combo. Man, I'm loving these rods. This is the Sling Blade, medium heavy. I think it's a 610. 610, medium heavy. I think it's a regular, so like a moderate action. So plenty of power, nice soft tip. Spinnerbait rod. That's a greenfish tackle. Spinnerbait on there, Mustad trailer hook. Arc G2 reel. Loving this little reel here for 100 bucks. Super solid reel. Lots of control. Great caster. And we got 15-pound Seagar and VizX on there. Well, that'll wrap it up for my combos and what I was using. Mike, you want to get up here and tell them what you were doing, what you were using? And
I'll tell them about my Texas rig rod.
Mike's to tell them about the Texas rig rod.
The rod I was using is the Luz Custom Light. It's a medium heavy and a fast action.
I said in one of my last videos that you really like that Arc combo.
Oh, yeah.
You're using the Ike reel
Mm-hmm.
on the Arc rod.
Yeah.
And that was your favorite, but then you started using this one.
Yeah, it's light and it's so comfortable.
It's very light.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I believe that X Series reel, I think it's somewhere around 5 ounces or so.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a super light rod, very comfortable. I think we're running 15-pound. That's
15.
Seagar and VizX on there.
Yeah. Got a little power bait Berkeley Lizard.
That's the
What
do they call that one?
I got it right here.
What do they call that?
Lizard.
No, it's power bait. What do they call that?
Oh.
Maxcent.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the
Maxcent,
Maxcent
yeah.
lizards. Well, Maxcent lizard there.
Yep. Mustad weight.
Mustad weight. That's another one of the Mustad Alpha Point grip pin hooks.
Yep.
I would have let you say that, but I'm sure you didn't.
I didn't. I just said, you got a hook? And you said, yeah, I got you.
But, so you're liking that combo there?
Yeah, this is my new favorite combo. Just because of how light it is and how smooth the reel feels.
Mhm.
It's fantastic.
Now, what kind of specs you got on that rod?
Rod, it's 7 foot, medium heavy, fast action.
And what are the lure rating on that one?
4th ounce to 7/8 ounce.
So 1/4, 7/8. Again,
Yeah.
that's more of our style, you
Yeah.
know. To me, when I was using that one, that to me, that felt like it's my standard, like medium, heavy, fast. Is
Yeah.
that what you think as well?
Yep.
Like if you compare that to like your jig rod, you can tell a big difference there.
Yeah.
You know. So, anything else you want to say about it, Mike?
This wins in feel, but my Arc and my Ike reel wins in looks.
Dude, it's a looker for sure.
Yeah. Let's see it.
You wanna? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
I'll show it.
looker. I almost think that
Yeah.
that Ike reel
Yeah.
looks better on the Arc rod than the
Yeah.
Ike rod.
Yeah, that looks
It's a perfect.
fantastic.
It's a perfect match.
Yeah.
And you've been using that one for spinnerbaits all year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you've been using yours way more than mine.
Yeah, I love it.
What are your thoughts on that one?
Fantastic. I like the length of it. It's what, a 6?
That's 6'10".
6'10", yeah.
It's accurate, but it's still long enough for a long cast. you
Yeah.
know?
I can bomb this thing halfway
Yeah.
across the lake. Yeah. It's fantastic. I love it.
I think you're running 15-pound Seagar and VizX on that too.
Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
This wins in looks. That definitely wins in feel, though.
Wins and feel.
Yeah.
That's become one of my favorites. That one right there reminds me a lot of the TCS that I love so much for spinnerbaits. That it's right up there with it.
Yeah.
And before we let you guys go, we didn't even talk about Mike's fish. Sadly, I wasn't even recording, and so we only got it when I had it in the net. But again, he caught it on the lizard there, the Max scent lizard. And it's funny, really mine was too, really. The hook came out of mine.
Yeah.
And he didn't even have the barb buried in the, with that lizard. The hook was just like in his lip,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it was just pressure keeping it in there. So, or obviously it just popped out when it got in the net, whatever, but I mean, it literally was not in. You know, just the bend of the hook was around his lip, that was it. Put him in the net, hook came right out. So we both got lucky, because
Yeah.
my hook came out too. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to smash the thumbs up. Love you guys. We will see you guys on the next one.
Goodbye.